So, our latest adventure is coming to an end. We packed so much into this trip. We started off at Epcot before going to Disney's Vero Beach Resort, then came to the Grand Floridian, did a day at Magic Kingdom with the Premier Pass, and then hopped over to Epic Universe and did a day there with their Express Pass. There is so much to unpack here, but for your time and ours, we're just going to hit the highs and lows. But just know, we are here experiencing all the ins and outs of each adventure to help guide you best when you book a vacation using Many Adventures Travel Advisors. Okay, so let's dive into it. The prices. Pricing is pretty much neck and neck. There was a time when Universal was the less expensive option, and it was almost seen as kind of like a Disney alternative if you couldn't afford a Disney vacation. Now, they're both very comparable in pricing, even down to their souvenirs. So this one is a tie. Now on to theming. So this is totally subjective. And from this point on, all of our battle it out topics are going to be subjective and completely based on preference and opinion. Okay, so for theming, it really depends on what you're into and what emotional attachments you have to certain IPs. Which, if you don't know what that means, that's intellectual property, like theming from a movie. So for us, we prefer Disney theming. And it gives us all the feels and the tears and the chills. But when it comes to Epic Universe's theming, we were totally wowed. And it was very impressive. There were so many impressive moments at Epic, from like the ride queues to all of the worlds, even how you entered the world. Everything was themed from top to bottom. Their ceilings were themed. It was so impressive. So while we prefer Disney's IPs, Epic Universe, they really wowed us with their theming. This one goes to Epic. So next up is the rides. There were some impressive rides at Epcot, like out of this world rides. However, just yesterday, one of the rides closed because someone has allegedly died on it this week. It's been all over the news here, and it was just this huge elephant in the park, so to speak. Like news helicopters were flying above and everything. It was one of those very sad, unfortunate things that has happened, and it just made for this really weird feeling in the park, like walking by and seeing the ride close down and knowing that everything was so fresh. That being said, we absolutely loved all the other rides at Epic. But the rides here are geared towards a little bit of an older audience. So for this one, we're giving this one to Disney because it has more offerings for all heights and more overall attractions. Next up, we have PhotoPass. Disney definitely wins this one. We have Memory Maker, and we just scan our Magic Bands or our Apple Watch, and all of our pictures are loaded right into the app, and we download them straight from the Disney app. At Epic, we had to go and buy a pass for the day, and they gave us this lanyard that we either had to wear around our neck or keep it in our bags. And then we had to scan for each photo. And then now we're going to have to go and follow these instructions on the back of the PhotoPass card so that we can go and access our photos. I'm not even going to lie. We haven't even done that yet. But at Disney, I'm looking at our pictures almost immediately as soon as they've been taken, to see how they turned out, to see how funny our ride photos were. Like, I love being able to have that immediate, like, look and see. We did not get that on our first day at Epic. Maybe there's a loophole here. Maybe there's just a learning curve. But for us, Disney's was way easier to navigate. PhotoPass goes to Disney. Let's move on and talk about food. So I'm more particular about food. Not because I'm a picky eater, but because I have celiac, so I have to eat gluten-free. We love dining at Disney. They have allergy guides that make it so easy to follow, and the chefs are always ready and willing to come out and speak if you want to speak with them. All allergies get marked with an allergy stick, and Epic does this exact same thing. We ate at the Mead in the Isle of Burke, and a chef came out and spoke with me. He was also the same one that brought my food out to me. Like, I felt very well taken care of there and very safe eating there. However, just for the way that Disney's app is laid out and its easy ordering for quick services and their allergy guides, Disney's the winner here on this one. So let's talk shows. Disney's Happily Ever After and their nighttime starlight during the Night Away parade take the cake. But we're going to consider those nighttime spectaculars and aren't going to count those in this category for this purpose. Okay, let me just tell you, the show in Isle of Berk, The Untrainable Dragon, was so good and probably the best show I have ever seen. It has beaten out Festival of the Lion King and Animal Kingdom in my book. The Untrainable Dragon was the only time in Epic today that it left me in all the feels and emotions and gave me chills. It was that same magical feeling that I get when I'm at Disney. So Epic, your Untrainable Dragon takes the winner for this one. Okay, so let's talk Premier Pass versus Express Pass. So let me just start off saying that both of these are very expensive, incomparable in price. Now, it's important to note that there are two rides that are excluded at this point from Epic's Express Pass. The Stardust Racer, which is closed right now because of the tragic accident that I mentioned earlier, and Dragon Racer Alley. Now, at Disney, every ride and attraction that has a lightning lane, either a multi-pass or a single pass, can be used for the Premier Pass. At Epic, it seemed like the Express Lane took us up to the front of the line and we merged with the standby line right as we were boarding. At Disney, their Premier Pass lane skips a good chunk of the line, but then you're merged into the standby queue and are left waiting. At Magic Kingdom, there are more attractions that you can use your pass on. However, at Epic, the wait times were longer, like longer than any wait times that I've seen at Disney for a few of their rides. It seemed kind of like Christmas week at Disney, like those kind of wait times. I don't know that there's a real clear winner on this one. It really depends on your budget and what your goals and expectations are for your trip. So for this one, we're going to call this one a draw. Well, there you have it. Our quick rundown of some of the highlights from our experiences at both Disney World and Epic Universe on our latest adventure, and which park we think did better, this park or that park. Be sure to click that like and subscribe button to follow for many more.